NATO's Arctic ambitions, why Russia remains unrivaled. Despite the recent expansion of NATO with the addition of Sweden and Finland, Russia continues to dominate the Arctic region where it holds unparalleled influence. An article in the American conservative, TAC, argues that challenging Russia's supremacy in this icy expanse would be a costly miscalculation for the United States. Instead of turning the Arctic into the next theater of great power rivalry, the author suggests that Washington should reconsider its approach, favoring cooperation over confrontation. The U.S. Department of Defense released its latest Arctic strategy in July, the first since 2019, reflecting growing concerns in Washington. These concerns were amplified when American and Canadian fighter jets intercepted 2 Russian Tuesday 95 strategic bombers and 2 Chinese H-6 bombers operating in international airspace, roughly 200 miles off Alaska's coast. While the U.S. must ensure the security of its territory, including Alaska, the author warns that an overreaction, leading to a militaristic focus on the Arctic, would be a strategic blunder. The Arctic, though increasingly vital, remains a region where U.S. interests are limited, and the costs of militarization would far outweigh any potential gains. For Moscow, the Arctic is not just a strategic buffer but a vital region for its national security and economic ambitions. Russia's Northern Fleet, stationed on the Kola Peninsula, plays a crucial role in safeguarding the country's sea-based nuclear deterrent. Additionally, the Arctic is central to Russia's economic future, with massive oil and gas projects like Yamal LNG and Vostok Oil driving Moscow's activities in the region. Despite its assertiveness, Russia's ability to launch an offensive in the Arctic is limited. Yet, its focus on defense and economic development in this harsh environment makes it the undisputed Arctic power. China's interests in the Arctic, while noteworthy, are primarily economic. Beijing's Polar Silk Road Initiative and other ventures are important but pale in comparison to its strategic focus on the Taiwan Strait. The Arctic, for China, is a secondary theater, one that does not command the same level of attention as its core military objectives closer to home. The TAC article underscores the potential pitfalls of NATO's growing focus on the Arctic. Even with Finland and Sweden joining the alliance, Russia's dominance in the region is unlikely to be seriously challenged. The author argues that instead of escalating tensions, Western powers should seek to maintain open lines of communication with Moscow. This approach would help manage crises and reduce the risk of conflicts sparked by accidents or miscalculations in this fragile and unforgiving environment. The Arctic is a unique and challenging domain where the costs of military confrontation would be exorbitant and the benefits unclear. As NATO reassesses its role in this region, the emphasis should be on diplomacy and cooperation rather than preparing for a showdown that could destabilize one of the world's last frontiers. Russia's position in the Arctic remains robust, and any attempt to shift this balance through military means would be fraught with danger. Instead, by focusing on dialogue and crisis management, the West can better navigate the complexities of Arctic geopolitics, ensuring that this critical region remains a zone of peace rather than conflict.